degrees and 120 degrees, right? So that rubber spacer allows us to move with the window and have a better temperature controlled unit, right? And then you talked about the heat already. You talked about the low E, the gas, right? You're going to talk about argon gas. Now moving forward, you're going to talk about all these windows and what they don't do, right? We talked about wood windows and the price versus value, about how they are $5,000 more than a vinyl window, right? And you guys are going to tell your customers that these aren't vinyl windows, right? Every other company that comes in here is going to show them vinyl windows. Andersen's going to show them vinyl. Pella's going to show them vinyl. Window World, it's all vinyl, right? And they may have some of the working parts that we have, but guys, they don't have our material. So, wood windows, you're going to talk about it, right? Like Manny said, wood windows, they look great, but they do not do well in our environment, right? In North Carolina, some days it's 20, some days it's 100, right? So with wood windows, they don't do well because they crack, the seal breaks, and they get a lot of moisture damage because of the expansion and contraction of those windows. Why are you laughing? Laughing at me over there. All right, but as you guys can see, you know, if they do have wood windows,
your presentation,
this is what you're going to see, right?
Holy shit.
A lot of water damage, moisture damage, water infiltration in that wood window, right? So a lot of companies that do offer wood windows, the warranties are crap because this is what it looks like after a few years, right? And you don't get the return on your energy bill, right? There's no insulation you can fit in wood windows. They are what they are. So, moving on. Fiberglass composite windows. Manny just showed you one of those cutouts of a fiberglass composite window. And even if you don't, this is very easy after you just demonstrated, right? This is why I like demonstrating it first, because they see that and they're like, oh, that's crap, right? You can either do this and show them, you know, and show them what we do after.
You'll find it.
But
Figure it out.
they might say, hey, you know, I might like that window. I might like this window, right? But it's very easy to show them the cons of these windows, right? So these windows, guys, as you can tell, they're just fiberglass composite wood windows. Well, not wood windows. Fiberglass composite. So when you guys do click on it, you're going to see the wood shavings, right? You're going to see the different things in this window. Guys, this is what Pella does. This is what Andersen does, right? You can see it right there. Renewal by Andersen. If you guys take this window and you move it back and forth, it's going to pop off. A lot of these windows are screwed in together. They don't have the, we weld our windows in the corners, as you guys can see. I don't know what he showed you, but when you guys see the corners, Fusion, right? So you guys see the corners, and you go through their house, and you're sticking dollar bills through each one of their cracks in their sills. You see ours is completely molded, right? You can't fit anything through it.
And then also right here, look, you got a price conditions. What's one of the advantages of these windows? Fiberglass is light. It's cheaper. Look at the price. Mm-hmm. See the price there? Point it out. Look, you know what's good about fiberglass? It's cheap. You know, it runs you about $2,500 to $3,500 a window.
So,
that's it.
Regrind vinyl. This is what you guys have now. This is probably what they have, right? If they don't have wood or metal, they probably have something like this, right? And there's a reason why they want to update them. Because they discolor very, very quickly. You guys are going to see that in their windows, right? So what is regrind vinyl? Do you guys know what regrind vinyl is? They may or may not know. They probably don't. So you're going to explain it, right? So the reason why these don't last and the warranties suck is because it is recycled plastics, a bunch of plastic water bottles, plastic straws, recycled to make your plastic chairs, to make your Tupperware, to make your vinyl windows, guys. So what they do with this recycled material, they get it together, and then they put a gel coat around it. They bleach it or stain it different colors for your window or your Tupperware. And again, they put it in, and it cracks very easily. The harsh conditions from the outside stain very easily. And we've all put Tupperware in the spaghetti in a Tupperware container and put it in the microwave before, right? So why did this happen? Can anyone explain to me why this happened to this Tupperware? Because it didn't happen on day one, right? How did it happen? So, guys, what's going to happen to your window and what happened to this piece of Tupperware is over months and years of scrubbing that Tupperware, putting it in the dishwasher, we're removing that protective gel coat to protect this porous material. Once that gel coat is removed from the dishwasher and you scrubbing it, all of the oils from your food get into those pores and you can't ever get it out. Guys, this is what's going to happen over time with your regrind vinyl windows, right? All the rainstorms and windstorms and just harsh conditions, that gel coat is eventually going to deteriorate and you're going to get a bunch of stained windows. There it is.
And with regrind, okay, what I like to do with any of that, just with the actual regrind. So regrind, look, you see that the initial is inexpensive. I don't focus on the price, okay? When I push that regrind, so what I try to push is that word regrind, right? Because not everyone knows what regrind means, right? So you hear, I start off, I slip over, right? It's like, All right, you know, when you got your fiberglass, right?
I went here
Regrind,
yesterday.
right? When you hear regrind, what do you
Yeah.
think? You know what regrind is another word for? Or a fancy word for? Recycled, right? It's great for the environment, but do you really want your window made out of McDonald's straws and Starbucks cups and, you know, like old toy? I wouldn't do it, you know? This is your house. This is your castle, right? Regrind may be great for the environment, but we're talking about your house here, okay? You want something that's quality put into your home. Bam, we're on to the next one, virgin vinyl.
Yeah.
Right?
So guys, as you can see, the problem with virgin vinyl, it's way too bulky, right? You guys have great viewing area out of your glass right now. We don't want to ruin that, right? We want to get something similar. That way we can see the backyard, we can see out our windows. With virgin vinyl, a lot of companies will come in here and say, oh, it's not regrind vinyl, it's virgin vinyl. You know what you have to do to qualify to be virgin vinyl? Is only be 51%.
Oh no, I was gonna say it's. You guys heard how Manning said before he moved on to the next slide. It's like you guys don't want this in your home.
Mhm.
You guys will remember either you say that or you tell them, "Is this what you want in your home?"
Right.
Absolutely not.
At any cost,
Right.
would this be something you guys
Right.
want?
Tie down.
Yeah, and yeah, virgin vinyl.
Virgin vinyl.
The only thing they have to be is 51%. The other 49% is going to be that regrind. So, guys, let's talk about this frame. Do you guys like the frame? They're going to be like, no, it's terrible, right? It's more plastic than it is glass, right? So as you guys can see here, it's very, very bulky. You're not getting what you want out of it. As you can see, the frame, although it's massive, doesn't have any insulating properties, right? And as you guys can see, it's very, very expensive. So we talked about the average of 10 double hung windows in North Carolina being around $19,000, around $2,000 a window. For something like this, what they're trying to push onto customers is durability, right? The frame of it, the working parts around it. It's going to be more durable than what you have now, but it can be upwards of $3,000, right? And it's uninsulated, like I said, right? And of course, that 49% of regrind is still going to stain very easily. So, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, at any price, would this be something you guys want in your home?
Ooh,
Right?
that's nice.
Same as
That's
chicken
fucking
nod.
Nice. I like that.
Same as chicken nod. Do this, right?
They can say no just because they can say yes.
All right, so then we talk about what we want. So guys, you can easily just go right into your soft kit from this slide and talk about it, or you can do it beforehand. It really doesn't really matter what you guys do, but here's a good chance to talk about the different properties of your window, right? So it is the EcoSky window. You guys can talk about how it's manufactured by Softlight. We're gonna get into Softlight in a little bit. So 300% greater impact resistance, increased R value. Mr. and Mrs. Customer, do you guys know what R value is?
I don't know.
No? So, guys, what R value is a monitoring system of your insulating properties, right? So your wall, it is a gray insulated wall, right? So your R value of your wall will be about 15, right? That is great when it comes to insulation. So what windows are going for generally nowadays, whether you get it from Peller, whether you get it from Anderson, Home Depot, Lowe's, the R value is only 2 to 3, right? We showed you guys that picture of the heat leaving the home, the AC leaving the home. So now, guys, our R value, as you guys saw in the demonstration, is approximately R10 to R12, right? It's very, very close to the insulating properties of a wall. All right, next generation polymer formulation, right? That allows us to close the gaps between the glass and the frame, right? As you guys can tell, when we walked around your windows, we're able to fit a bunch of paper through your windows. You don't have that with this polymer formulation. Impact resistance, we're talking about that. Different colors, and moving on. Trick question, Mr. and Mrs. Customer. What is the most energy efficient door in your home?
If you guess it right, I'll give you $4,000 off.
You guys
Right.
guessed this question right.
Refrigerator.
Give you a discount on all your windows. What is the most energy efficient door in your home? Any guesses?
Bathroom.
The bathroom door.
Barn door.
The front door. Okay, that's a typical answer. All right, guys. So the most energy efficient door in your house is your fridge, right? Because why? It has its air seal lock, right? So guys, I'll go in, I'll close the refrigerator door. So guys, I want you to hear this. You hear that refrigerator door close. And guys, listen to this. You hear that air escaping as soon as you close it. It's an airlock seal, so we're getting the same energy efficient style as a fridge, right? So one more time, guys, as you can hear, even when it comes up, you can hear that, right? Moving on. talk about where they're made, right? How we use laser techs to come out and measure their windows to make sure that they are, what is it, like 32nd of an inch? Something crazy like that.
30 seconds.
Right, so guys, when you talk about that, talk about the other companies, right? Lowe's, Home Depot, really they're gonna give you a one size fit all. They're gonna come in, try to get as close as possible. And what they're gonna do is they're gonna shim your frame around that window so that it fits, right? They're gonna do a lot of work to your frame, not the window. We're already replacing the window and doing like for like, so we are getting exactly the measurements that we need to go right into that window.
Real quick, me on this one, I pointed out, and honestly, people remember when I show it. Okay, so I expand the picture right here, and I show the chamber. Okay, this is actually how we make our windows. Okay, so we actually make our windows in an argon gas chamber. So what does that mean? Okay, argon gas is pretty much just going to make your windows seal. That's going to stop the cold from getting in, the hot from getting outside. Those pumps right there, those little pipes, they're pumping the argon gas into that chamber. So now we're going to actually fuse the window whole right there inside that chamber before we open the chamber back up again. Okay, we're going to put in all those features we just talked about, right? And the second that window is 100% done, a little bing goes off and ready to go, then we open the chamber. Okay, so that's your retention. That's what keeps that argon gas inside of that window.
Oh, what do other windows do instead of that?
You know, they get some guy named Larry. He comes in with a screwdriver, kind of puts the glass on the first time, and they pump it in with a hose. You know, it just doesn't make sense to me how they do it, which is why I'm glad that we do the way that we do it.
That's a good question, sir. So what I have for you here is actually Pella's warranty on what they cover when it comes to argon gas, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna read it, right? So, for Pella products labeled as having low E insulating glass with argon, right? When it comes down to temperature control of your house and your window, argon gas is the most important property. So, sir, great question. Pella actually injects argon at the time of manufacture. So what they do
That's nice.
is they take the glass, they inject it, they put caps and seals over that injection point, and what happens over time, right? That injection point, that seal dissipates over time, and all the argon leaves. Pella knows it. They're telling you right here. Pella injects argon at the time of manufacture. No warranty is made as to the amount or percentage of argon present in the insulating glass. It is known that argon within insulating glass dissipates over time. Pella makes no warranty regarding the rate of dissipation of argon or the amount of argon remaining in the window at any time after manufacture.
So if it dissipates, how do we control for your windows?
So for our window, right, like Manny just said,
All
sir,
about
if you
the
were paying
process.
attention, we make our glass in an argon gas chamber, right? So we have 0 injection points, we have no caps, no seals, so we actually guarantee a 98% retention rate of that argon gas. So as you guys can see, you guys will have the same argon gas in this window on day 1 as you do day 1000.
And the nitrogen?
And the nitrogen.
What does the nitrogen do?
So the nitrogen works hand in hand with argon gas to completely create the temperature stability of that glass, right?
Okay.
So as Manny said in the presentation, the outside glass has different working parts than the inside glass. So let's talk about that. So as you guys can see here, it wasn't about the amount of glass in the window, right? It wasn't about the what?
Focus.
It wasn't about the amount of glass in the window, right? It was about what was in that glass, right? It was about the 6-layer zinc titanium silver blend. It was about the outside glass doing different things than the inside glass, right? So as you said, sir, nitrogen stabilized eco blend gas, right?
Okay.
So that controls the amount of heat or cool air that comes from one glass to the other, right?
I see.
Yeah. So, with
Sir,
that being
if
said,
you consume this glass on a daily basis, it's equivalent to a
Yeah,
multivitamin.
the thing that happens
See this? That's how you sell them, straight face.
with argon gas over time starts to settle
Mhm.
inside
Right.
of the window. So you have the 2 panels. So what the nitrogen does, it helps it
Mhm.
always be moving.
Yeah, circulating.
All around.
See, if you guys don't know, you make some shit up like I did, right?
Yeah,
Multivitamin.
exactly. That's why I was laughing. 'Cause you did a great job.
Just go.
Taking it
Yeah,
away.
nitrogen.
Yeah.
Until you gonna watch Fast and Furious,
Same reason they
like
put
I
it in
said, guys,
your time
sales is a
now.
game, and you're the only one that knows the rules.
Well, unless you get a chemist, and
Yeah.
you know, then you're kind of fucked.
Then they can answer the question.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's the guy.
They can tell
Um,
boron.
So this is big, right? They're like, who makes your windows? Oh, that's a great question, sir. Well, we have a great video from our manufacturer.
There are over 1,000 window manufacturers in this industry, and they all are striving to be awarded Energy Star Partner of the Year.
This is when you start writing your
Started in
prices.
1992 by the EPA and the Department of Energy.
Your numbers together.
What they wanted to provide you, the homeowners, a platform to look at the energy efficiency of products and then